Right, I'm going to show you the technique for the long tail cast on. I think this is the Goldilocks of cast ons. It's not too stretchy, it's not too taut. Very, very versatile. What I'll have you do is to create your slip knot up the length of your yarn. It should be around about 3 to 4 times the point that's the length of the work that you'll be creating. And that will give you enough length of the yarn to create all the stitches that you need. So there's my slip knot. I'll slide my needle through there, and there's my first stitch. Well done. You'll have these 2 bits of yarn now hanging down. The loose yarn, the long tail, needs to be closest to you, and then the piece that's attached to your yarn ball is going to be at the back. Okay, so now I want you to let these 2 pieces hang and make this shape with your index finger and thumb and insert that in between the 2 lengths of yarn. And then the 3 fingers are going to wrap around and just catch them both underneath, just to hold them in place. So now if we open up our index finger and our thumb, everything's taut, everything's in place. If it's not, just readjust and get it to your liking. Now if you lift your palm up towards the sky, you'll be able to see better what you're doing. What we're going to do now is take this needle and we're going to place it underneath that yarn and then underneath that yarn. Okay, here we go. Slowly, underneath your thumb yarn and over to your index finger yarn and catch it underneath as well. Now we've created this hole here. I'm just going to pull it through that, drop it off the thumb, drop it off the index finger, and voila. Yes, that looks a little intimidating, so let's go again. Okay, so lifting our palm to the sky, we're going to go under the thumb yarn and over to the index yarn and scoop it under from the top through that hole that we've just created. Notice I've still got a hold of the thumb yarn, and now I let it go once it's gone through that loop, and then pull that taut. Once again, let's see our palm. We're going to go under the thumb loop, keeping a hold of the thumb yarn, over and catch underneath the index yarn and pull it through the loop. Now we can just tighten that. So we're never really having to let go of these yarns to readjust, but if you do, you can just set up again. Let's do a few more rounds and pull. Okay, under the thumb yarn, over and under the index yarn to pull through. Okay, we just want to make sure as well as we go, we're not pulling these too tightly, otherwise you'll have a fair bit of trouble trying to work the next row and squeezing your needles through each stitch. Okay, this will become quite meditative once you get the hang of it. It's a beautiful thing. So this is really great for creating an edge for projects like scarves, beanies, anything that might start with a couple of rib rows or stockinette. It is very versatile and it creates this very beautiful edge piece. So see, as we go, this long tail is getting shorter and shorter and shorter. What we don't want is to not have enough of this, and so we can't create all the stitches that we need. And once we're done, if you've got too much of this yarn tail to work, you can just tie it in a little bundle as you go, but eventually it will get woven into your work. So there we have it, the long tail stitch. This is the finished edge. It's this really beautiful sort of braided edging for your work that is a knit stitch on one side, and then on the reverse side those beautiful pearl ridges on the other. So there you have it, the long tail cast on.